Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to episode 18 of Gamer Milk Retro Gaming Podcast. Each week we spin a wheel and we play a retro game, but this week we did not spin a wheel. I am your host, Mr. Stray. I'm joined here today by Stick Bob.
Hello.
And we have a special guest 2 episodes in a row. We have goes by his YouTube channel, Another Blown Cartridge. Just call him nickname Cart. How are you doing today?
Hello, Stray, Stick. Thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you for agreeing to come on this podcast and sell your soul.
No, it's my pleasure. And to answer your earlier question, I'm doing great. Excited to talk about this particular video game. It's been a bit of a saga for me now of playing these games. So I'm excited to talk about with other like-minded, fun individuals.
First, I got some questions for you though about yourself. How do you feel about politics? I'm joking. I'm joking about that. So you own a gaming channel where you review video games. I've watched a pretty good handful of your videos. I went all the way down to the bottom, and I watched like your first video and up. My favorite video though is probably the Kirby Apocalypse.
Oh, thank you. That's probably also my favorite video too.
I have a question. I have never played a Kirby game in my life, but you made that game look so fun, and I was wondering, would you recommend it to me for never playing a Kirby game before?
Yeah, actually I would. Forgotten Land is pretty good because you don't need it's very unique. There's not many other Kirby games like it. So it's a good break into the series where like the mechanics are kind of all new and or maybe not the mechanics, but just like overall it's like kind of the first 3D Kirby platformer.
Yeah.
And and it's pretty structured. It's nothing crazy. It's a very streamlined experience. And it's really fun. Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Especially if you've never played a Kirby game before.
No, the closest I've got is Super Smash Bros. By playing as Kirby.
No, it's a good pick. And Smash Bros is great because it has a very similar kind of gameplay style to Kirby games, especially the 2D Kirby games. So if you're used to Smash Brothers as Kirby, you'll jump right in. I would actually say Forgotten Land is the best Switch game. For best Switch game that's in the Kirby franchise, because the other Kirby games on Switch, I know they just recently re-released Return to Dreamland, which I haven't played. I've never played that one, but I've heard it's really good. But Star Allies, I don't think that it's a very good game. Like, it's fine, but Forgotten Land, you can't go wrong with that. It's a really good one.
Okay. I really want to play a Kirby game. I was like, I got a Switch. Why not just buy that game? I was like, is it worth it though? But yeah, you made that game look really fun. Assassin's Creed Unity. I watched that video. I watched a ton of video. Chrono Trigger to just Cyberpunk, all those and stuff.
Oh wow, I'm flattered. Thank you for
Yeah.
going through my library. That's so nice of you.
Yeah.
In respect to that, I have been consuming some Gamer Milk podcasts myself.
Oh no.
I saw your guys' video. I think it was Super Mario Sunshine you guys covered at one point.
Yeah, our most viewed episode.
I watched that one.
We have high hopes for this episode because our last episode currently just broke our top 3 most listened to episodes. So we got high hopes. You better do good, or you'll be locked in our dungeon.
Okay, I'll try my best.
Do you have a favorite console?
Ooh, that's a great question. Lately, honestly, I've been saying my Switch has been kind of my favorite console. I think it's a new peak for Nintendo quality.
Yeah.
But I would say the Super Nintendo. Even though I wasn't raised with it, I think it just has the best library of games. Like, many of my favorite games of all time are SNES games. So I'll probably say SNES.
Mine has to be. I don't even know if I have a favorite gaming. Oh wait, actually yes, the Game Boy, Advance SP, that one.
Oh yeah, the Game Boy Advance. Like, speaking of what we're talking about today, like, that's another top contender. Like, I love the 3DS. That's probably my favorite Nintendo portable. But the Advance is like so many good games. Like, it's such a beautiful system.
Do you have a favorite video game of all time?
Ooh. I was worried that that was gonna be the next question.
Our last guest, they said that a trifluffle, whatever it was, that there was 3 games that are their favorite. So it's fine if you say like multiple.
I think I can probably say one. It's Final Fantasy VI on Super Nintendo,
Wow.
or well, three, as it's called in the West in its original release. But yeah, Final Fantasy VI, absolutely love that game. That was like one of the first games I ever played that had like a super impactful story that
Hmm.
um had a lot of twists and turns. And yeah, probably Final Fantasy VI.
Wow.
How about you?
Oh my, mine is Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask.
Ooh, great pick.
Yep,
Great pick.
that is my favorite game, and the first Zelda that I ever beat. Not the first one I've ever played. But yeah, it really got me into the Zelda franchise, and it's my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, no, I just for the record, I love Majora's Mask. It's definitely on my top 5. I think it might be my second favorite Zelda game, but like I would say that it's the highest quality Zelda experience, especially from like an artistic perspective, like
Hmm.
what happens in that story and the effects, everything about it. But like the only reason I would put another Zelda game above it is just for like childhood nostalgia memories, right? Like
A lot of
how
people got scarred from that game, I know, because uh how dark it was.
I could not imagine playing Majora's Mask as a kid. Because like a little kid, especially, like
Hmm.
you get some hair on your chest after completing that as a kid. Like that's a dark
You
game.
become a man. Yeah.
It's true. You witness the apocalypse. Like that's not easy to digest when you're 7 years old.
Yeah, especially just you look up into the sky and you just see that moon every time. Or
Yeah,
even
that's like
Skull Kid. He was creepy.
oh yeah, like his head shifting around and his little dance, and then yeah, the moon. Like that's like one of the most terrifying, like iconic images from gaming history.
Yeah, and that game is overall just one of my favorite. Great score on it and everything. Like the music is just so good. Yeah, I really enjoy that game. Is there any game that you are currently playing through, like you've never played before, is your first time? Okay, Stick Bob, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, I have a question. That didn't get answered. I kind of answered for you, but I think I answered wrong. What is your favorite console?
Oh, it's a tough one. Xbox 360.
I guessed it correct. Yeah, Stick Bob has a collection of. He has like 5 of every console that he owns.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
What? How many Xboxes and PlayStations? Wii's do you have?
Currently in the house there is 2 Wii's, 3 Xbox 360s, and 1 PS2.
Wow.
I thought you had PlayStation 3s.
We do not know where they are though, since we moved. We put them somewhere we don't know where they are.
Oh.
We lost them.
Yeah, Stickball just
Oh
gets
no.
he just gets free consoles handed out to him, and it's crazy. But anyways, so usually I do a little joke, to take us into the next game, to the game that we're playing. But sadly I do not have one.
Because it's a very serious game.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
can we
no,
joke
no.
about
It's
like
just it's so hard for the game that we pay, like that was picked. It was very hard to decide, but let's quit all this racket and get on the court. Today we played Mario Tennis Power Tour on the Game Boy Advance.
You keep faking that you don't have one.
Okay, can I say something right now? I came up with that right on the spot as I was like, ooh, racket, and I was like, ooh, let's go on the court. I really didn't have one. You were almost spared.
you doubled up on puns off the top of your head. That's very
Yeah.
impressive.
No, yeah, I have to. I just have to do it. I'm a comedian. What can I say? Mario Tennis Power Tour.
We
Now,
don't laugh with you, we laugh at you.
okay, yeah.
He's a punny guy.
I made that joke last episode.
Oh no.
I said I'm very punny. That's like the 3rd time this joke has been used on the podcast.
Damn, they're gonna have to hold you in the penitentiary.
Oh no. Stick Bob.
Stray's gonna have to face his punishment.
Okay, I'm gonna leave. Oh my goodness.
You
So
started it.
I had told
Jokes.
our previous guest, Octorok Reviews, that he was interested in what game we were playing, and I said we were there was you give us multiple choices of what to pick, and there was two that stood out to me: Mario Tennis on the Game Boy Advance, which I had no idea it was even on the Game Boy Advance, and you gave us GoldenEye, which stood out. And I was like, yeah, and I chose Mario Tennis, and he was like, you cuss words. He was like, you made a mistake. I was like, well, I didn't want to cheat and choose GoldenEye because I already know that game is like very popular. I was like, I didn't want to cheat and choose it. I would rather have like it been chosen without me doing it uh by random or something. So I was like, we played that. He's like, okay, that's understandable. But yeah, Mario Tennis Power Tour. It is a game on the Game Boy Advance, my favorite console. And I can't believe I had no idea this existed. Mario Tennis Power Tour, known in European as Mario Power Tennis
Hmm.
in
Not
European
to be
countries.
confused with not to be confused with the GameCube game, which
No.
in the West I believe is also called Mario Power Tennis.
Mm.
So,
It is
just making it easy on all of us.
it is the fourth direct installment to the Mario Tennis series, and the Game Boy Advance counterpart is Mario Power Tennis for the Nintendo GameCube. This is the final Mario release for the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Huh.
2005 final game released for the Game Boy Advance that had the title Mario. It is very similar to the other Mario Tennis games, except this one adds the addition of power shots. You could play this game multiplayer if you had the net play cord, or was the connector of
Link cable?
yeah, the link cable, that's what it is. Yeah, if you had the link cable, you could play this with friends, or if you had a GameCube, you could connect a Game Boy Advance to it, and you could also play like that. Um, the plot of the game follows the player. You could either choose Clay or Ace. I chose Clay and renamed him Stray. Did all you choose Clay?
I chose Clay.
Oh, okay. So, Cart, did you choose Clay as well?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, we're all the
Clay
we're
gang.
yeah, Clay gang, Boo Ace. You're a
Yeah,
student.
bit of a boys club.
Yeah, you're a student in the Royal Tennis Academy. And you wake up, and it reminded me of like a like a Zelda game. You just get woken up, or Pokemon actually. Um, this game actually reminded me a lot about Pokemon in many ways. I don't know if you felt that or not. And as many people know, Pokemon is not my most favorite game of all time. I actually despise the series quite a bit.
Fair enough.
Just because I feel like the games a lot of them are the same thing over and over.
No, you mean all of them.
Yeah, all of them. Some of them stand out. So you start off, you go from junior class to senior class to varsity, and then you make it to the final championship of the Island Open, and it's a tennis game. I just want to say, see, did any of us finish this game? Like, get it in screen?
I did.
I know you did. I didn't.
I'm okay. Fair enough. I didn't yet. So like I'm right on the like pseudo last boss of the game, which in the singles version I still haven't even got to the Island Open in the doubles section where you play with Ace. But in singles I've just met the titular character name of the game. Actually I don't even know if I want to spoil it. Is it a plot spoiler to say that eventually you do face Mario?
Yeah, after 100 years, you actually get to see Mario. I actually never got to see Mario. I'm on Open Island the first match on Open Island. I spent like a good hour walking around Open Island trying to figure out how to start the match on doubles. I played only doubles. And I couldn't figure it out, and then I look and I click on the board, and it then allows the game to start. I would like to say at the very beginning of this game, this game has a lot of talking,
Mhm,
a,
mhm.
a lot of story, and it was I found the very beginning to be annoying of how much story there was for a tennis game. I didn't enjoy. I did read some of it until I did try to read as much as I could. I hardly remember anything in the story that really happens except for you just do tennis against each other.
You tennis.
Yeah, you just do some tennis, some ping pong, giant ping pong. That's what we call it.
Yeah, I mean, it's developed by Camelot, right? Who made like Golden Sun and almost all the other Mario sports games. So it's weird how like for the portable games, they're like, yeah, we're gonna have like kind of a full story mode with, yeah, as you said, kind of an unnecessary amount of dialogue. Like, it's like
Yeah.
no offense to these characters. I like the character designs, but like the characters themselves aren't nearly as interesting as the amount of dialogue would suggest they are.
It
You
is
know?
an RPG, which you would never expect
Hmm.
Mario Tennis to be an RPG. You never expect really any sports game. This is our first ever sports game, by the way, on the
Oh,
podcast.
cool.
Yeah, there's so many moves on this thing that I'm looking at the move list here, like for playing tennis. A and B to swing, A for top spin, B for slice, A B for lob, BA for drop shot. You move around with the D-pad. R for activate power shot. L to cancel charge. L plus A or B for jump shot.
They managed to cram a lot of like mechanical creativity within just like two buttons, basically.
I don't know about you, but my only controls were spam.
Okay, I
Spammy
was spamming
buttons.
that one that gives the ball an orange trail.
Oh,
I just,
okay, yeah. Do you actually know the move sets for this game?
all I know is that you hit the ball.
Yeah, just whack the ball.
Yep. Me and Stick Bob, I know he figured it out because he sent me a video, but we both figured out, I'm pretty sure you know this as well, how when you serve, how to win every time when you serve.
Oh, what? There was a point where I was getting a lot of service aces, but then I lose that rhythm. I don't know what it
So
was. But is
you
that like a proven like true combo or something?
so if you serving on the left, you hold down the left D-pad, and then you press B to swing on the ball, and it will shoot it across and curve, and it will you get a point. And then you do the
Because
same.
the person returning your serve will copy your movements. They'll be as far away from the ball as possible.
Yeah. I also didn't tell Stickbob this because I was trying to race Stickbob
Can tell
on.
me what?
So when your character serve when your teammate serves ace,
Yeah.
you can if you walk forward and then wait, so she hits the ball to the person in the corner, the far away person, and they will hit it back in the middle of where you are standing every time. If you walk straight into the tennis what is it called?
The net.
Yeah, the tennis net, and then you just swing. You can also do the curve as the same curve, and it will you'll get a point every time.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's basically what I did, and that's how I mostly survived. I didn't lose a single match, but matches took ages in this game. I do say they take so long to do a single match. For me at least, a lot of
No, yeah,
back.
for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of back and forth. The sets can go really long too, especially if you get a tiebreaker, like you guys, the characters match
Yeah,
games.
and they do final tiebreaker. Yeah, it oh my goodness, it takes so long.
Yeah, especially for those characters that like can I don't know about you guys, but who if cuz Stick you finished the game, so who is your finals guy? Cuz my guy in the finals for the Island Open was Willie. Is that the same for you?
Um,
If you
I'm
remember
not
that
actually
guy.
sure.
He
I
was like
finished it yesterday.
he had a bowl cut. The guy um but he was like, he had this annoying power shot. He had this really annoying curve to all of his hits, and it was like, oh my god, like that match, like finishing that fight or that match, I guess, took forever. It was like I was there for like a solid half hour to like 45 minutes in tiebreakers after tiebreaker, and it was so annoying.
My last match, I spent 30 minutes, and we only went through one game, but I had to leave. So I just since I was playing this on an emulator, I just made a save slot.
Lucky you.
Did you play this? Do you actually own this game and play it?
I don't.
I know you don't.
Oh, I was playing it also on an emulator, on my Retroid Pocket 3. And I've been recording my footage directly onto that. And I was also, because of that, I've been using an analog stick to control the character too, rather than just the D-pad, and it's much better, I find.
I was also controlling it on my Retro Pocket, which was my phone. Uh, uh, I played on my phone, and I was using touch controls, of course, so it wasn't easy. Stickball
brutal.
probably had it the easiest though. He played on
Yeah.
a Raspberry Pi with a controller.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Um,
much easier
Best way to
using the
play.
touch controls.
I don't know if it was a part of the game, but one of the people that I was fighting against, and I was on the open island, the island open, uh, the match I wasn't able to finish. They look just like Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Is that actually Chun-Li?
I don't know,
Because
but yeah,
she has the buns, and she wears the blue with the brown yoga pants, and the blue dress or whatever that is, Komodo. But I was like, is that Chun-Li?
there's a lot of
yeah.
character that character especially looks like Chun-Li. It is I think that's clearly a little homage that the Camelot developers were
Mhm.
like, yeah, you know what? We'll just throw that in
I
there.
actually have a list of all the characters in the game right here with their pictures. It is Mel.
Mel. Okay, okay.
Yeah, her name's Mel,
Is
aka
it just me?
Chun-Li.
Is it just me, or are some of these character designs like super cursed? Like, like Sass. You know that
Wait,
guy Sass? This guy with like green or purple hair or something, and he's got the biggest chin ever. He's like discount Donkey Kong. Very freaky dude.
I,
That is a scary looking individual.
I did unlock Chad, which I was like, oh man, I want to play as Chad. Trying to find this person. Oh, I see. I see him. Oh
Yeah, you
my
see it too, right?
goodness,
Like,
yeah. Oh my goodness.
you guys ever seen that Family Guy meme where like Quagmire transforms into a toilet?
Yep, that's him.
That's that guy. Like, very terrifying.
He has. Okay, he works out his chin a lot. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He's got like
That guy chews a lot of gum.
Yeah, I was about to say that. He needs to give some chin to some of the other characters. We went over to finish the game. Now and we can go animation and art style together. I think honestly, animations for the game, like power shots. If you don't, power shot is basically it will ruin your life if it's used against you. You can use a power shot to hit really far, like super fireball. Some attacks do spins and you hit them. There's ones where you can turn everything to slow motion and basically catch your ball when somebody else uses their power shot. That's pretty much like, it's just a super, like, it's like, have you ever seen Shaolin Soccer?
Yes.
It's
Yes, I have.
it's shallow. It's basically Shaolin Soccer of tennis. That's the moves. Stickball, you probably have no idea what we're talking about.
No, I do not.
It's a cheesy. Well, it's meant to be cheesy, but it's an Asian movie about these soccer players who suddenly they get like super insane powers and they can kick the soccer ball like into space.
Listen, it's a really good movie. I have to say.
No,
Like,
it actually is. M. Night Shyamalan, I believe, directed it. Wait,
Whoa, what?
wait. I do not quote me on that.
If that's the case, my mind is like blown. I could not
No,
have
no,
predicted
Stephen
that.
Chow, Stephen Chow. I'm so sorry.
Okay. But
No,
imagine if he did.
M. Night Shyamalan. He did Avatar, probably one of his best movies. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes, one of his highest quality films.
So, have you
Oh,
seen?
no.
I've been wanting to see another movie from the director of Shaolin Soccer called Kung Fu Hustle.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, highly recommend that movie. I saw that before I saw Shaolin Soccer. I used to go to a comic book store when I was growing up in elementary school and high school, and they would always be playing like kaiju movies or various like Chinese fight movies. And they would often have Kung Fu Hustle on there. Super, super great. Again, like you said though,
They're not.
intentionally cheesy.
Yeah, they're not meant. If you're going into it and you're like, man, I want a really serious movie. No, it's not for you. It's you have to have like a very good like sense of humor for these movies and stuff. If you just want fun, watch his movies. Yeah, I'm sorry, M. Night Shyamalan. He's done The Village, Sixth Sense, Unbreakable, and all those After Earth, Signs, all those movies. But anyways, yeah, Shaolin Tennis is actually what this game should have been called because only Mario character I ever came across was Toadsworth.
Right, who is the I guess the referee, right?
Yeah, every time I accidentally hit the ball before it landed on my teammate because because they were in the back and the server's supposed to hit to them and then they hit back and then the game actually starts. I kept accidentally hitting the ball.
I did that as well.
uh
Wordsworth also shows up if you're returning the serve. If you hit it before it hits the ground, Toadsworth shows up.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I guess we're
I
not.
found that out the hard way.
I guess we're not that bad at the game to figure it out. No, I was pretty bad at this game. I was probably the worst out of all of us at this game.
The
But,
spirit.
yeah. But anyway, the animations. I think overall animations for like your characters moving, even outside when it becomes like more of an RPG, walking around. I think everything is actually great about the animations. I think for the Game Boy Advance especially, this was actually pretty like on top tier. And
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
yeah. And it comes out of a tennis game. A Mario Tennis, actually. I was not expecting this. I was expecting it just to be where like a Wii Sports Resort. You just click on, or no, Wii Sports. You click on tennis and then you start playing tennis. That was my expectations, and I think they really raised them right there. And yeah, I was like, wow, this game actually looks good, and characters are actually like 3D models.
They definitely look like they are. I think that they might have been kind of like how Donkey Kong Country, those are technically still 2D sprites, but they looks like they're just like, I don't know, like digitally imaged 3D models into sprites. I don't know, but I think you're right. They look 3D.
But yeah, no, animation, art style. The art style. Oh my goodness, this game is beautiful. One of the most.
I think.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt. I was just gonna say, yeah, no, I completely agree. I think Camelot working on the Golden Sun games and the Mario Golf games they had done before on Game Boy Advance really helped them refine their sprites, refine just like overall the environments. Even though the environments are kind of like window dressing, because like you can go around to these like different spaces and talk to people, but the dialogue does nothing. They'll ask you like yes or no prompts, and it doesn't matter. Like nothing.
Yeah, I did. It didn't really matter if I said yes or no because whatever they're gonna say happens anyways. I did get stuck in the tutorial.
Oh yeah.
So you go past and there's like two tennis rackets. There's like red and blue tennis rackets, and there's tutorials. They teach you how to play the game. I thought you actually had to complete the tutorial in order to move on, and I was there for like the first 2 days because I could not do what they wanted me to do was volley, and I could not figure out how to volley. I was even looking up videos of how to play Mario Tennis. And and I couldn't figure out how to volley, and then I just left, and then Ace came up to me and she's like, "You ready to play?" I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I didn't have to complete the tutorial. Stickbob didn't even know there was a tutorial. He was playing the actual tennis matches.
Yeah, I was not given a prompt.
No, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" I was stuck in the tutorial that you didn't even need to play, which I actually like that. Now that I know you don't need to complete the tutorial, it's just there to teach you new moves if you want to learn stuff.
Here's a weird thing though. I did not play the tutorial once, yet I won every single match.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
I believe that.
yeah. It doesn't require like that much skill. If you know how to spam, I think you can beat this game. If you're a professional Smash Bros player, you can definitely beat this game.
I definitely think those tutorials are not as useful as the developers thought they were going to be. As a matter of fact, like you said,
all of the move sets.
yeah, like the where you have to like hit it properly. I think there was one guy who challenges you to do like service aces and you have to hit a return ace or something like that. And I just kept it was like back and forth. Like he kept on being like, "Oh, I messed up, so now you have advantage. Oh, wow, you got it, so now you have advantage. I messed up, you have advantage." I was like, "Okay, this is stupid. I'm I'm just gonna go play the matches."
Bye bye. I did enjoy like walking about and actually trying to do like the quest, like find these people and everything, find out where they are, walk around, and I actually did find myself enjoying walking around the entire area. I did get to know Island Open a lot because I was walking around there for ages until I actually did find out how to start a match. So I did get to know that place quite a bit, going in every single building, talking to everybody, seeing if they would start a match or something with me. Which the animation's incredible. I think so. I do want to say this game with the art style reminded me of Pokemon games, at least for the DS. It reminded me, which I was like, I wonder if the people who worked on this, like obviously it's Nintendo, but I was wondering if like the same like animators and coders and all that worked on this game, because it feels a lot like Pokemon, and that got me
Yeah.
thinking. Oh, go ahead.
No, you finish what you were gonna say. Sorry.
I was gonna, it was stupid. I was gonna say that reminds me they need to make a Pokemon tennis game where you smack Pokemon around. it's that Voltorb.
You just
man.
slap a Voltorb around.
Yeah, you just slap Voltorb.
That's dangerous too, because that guy might shock you as you're
Yeah.
whacking him.
It also, it's kind of like a Slugterra, if you know what Slugterra is.
Oh yeah, it's Slugterra.
I can't believe you reminded me that Slugterra is a thing that exists. That is
One of my favorite shows as a kid, right there. So sad it never got to have its ending.
yeah. It didn't. That's too bad. I
Yeah.
hate when shows get cut off early like that. One thing I was gonna say is the animations are very similar to Pokemon, but I you can kind of notice that like the way that Camelot develops their character models, or I guess I don't even know your character sprites,
Mm-hmm.
is that they have a little more ligamentation. They've got a few more bits and pieces of animation. Like Pokemon, realistically, the characters, especially like Fire Red and Leaf Green and Emerald, they
Mm-hmm.
just kind of have arms. Like their arms and their hands are one block, and their legs are just one block. Versus this game, like you can see kind of like the limbs moving a little bit more.
Yeah. And
There's a bit more animation.
also, I'm surprised, like Pokemon, a lot of the time they just have like the same character. Like they just
Yeah.
copy and paste the same character, but this time he's
Yeah.
harder. They actually have like a pretty big character list of who you go against. Everything. I was expecting a lot of like it's the same people over and over. But no, they have a huge list, which every person, like nobody really looks the same.
Oh yeah, they got Chun-Li in there. They
Yeah.
got
They got Sass.
they got Sass.
Let's go. And then they created new characters as well, like Bowser, Donkey Kong, Waluigi, Luigi, Peach, and Mario. Like they created new characters for this game and everything. Specially made.
Name the game after one of its newest characters.
Yeah. Then this series also spawned the Mario games because it was so popular. No, yeah. It, I think they Clay does kind of look like Ash though. I will have to say, does a little look like it. Um, but no, that's not a bad thing though. That it does look similar to Pokemon because I think Pokemon in general is a beautiful game. As far as art style and everything, I think like most of the games, like when they get into color, I think they're really beautiful games. Good scenery and terrain, especially for this game, the colors pop out. I like Dragon Warrior. That game really hurt my eyes playing it. Dragon Warrior 2. This game though, oh I've played this so like I didn't have to like put it down if my eyes were hurting. I put it down if I just didn't want to play it anymore. But I wasn't really feeling like it was I really enjoyed looking at the game. I thought it was very beautiful. Great job. Pat on the back to the people who did this game.
Seconded. I definitely think you can really tell they have a lot of attention to detail in terms of their environments and stuff. Especially if you compare it to the Game Boy Color Mario sports games that they had just made. Um, it's like night and day. Like that in that game, it really looks like Pokemon. If you were to put like Mario Tennis on Game Boy Color next to next to Pokemon Gold or Crystal or
Uh-huh.
Silver, it's like the sprites are so similar. Everything about it is super. It looks nearly identical. But if you were to compare like Fire Red to there's Fire Red to Power Tour, there's enough differences. You can tell that Camelot really cared about kind of creating a unique little world for these at times cursed looking characters to live in.
I think now they look cursed, but back then they were probably it was probably like, wow, look at these breaking edge. Like N64 games, human-like characters are cursed on N64 games.
Oh yeah. Oh
GoldenEye.
man.
If you look at GoldenEye. Oh my goodness. I haven't played GoldenEye yet, but oh my goodness. The I have seen the characters' faces, and it's just a picture that was plopped on a poly whatever character.
Yeah, that's like if you ever see those PS1 Harry Potter games where
No.
all you have to do is Google PS1 Harry Potter and you will see the most disturbing polygonal characters. Like, yeah, they just threw a JPEG of the actor's face onto this completely flat block, and it's horrifying. They made
Oh,
like
that's where that meme of Hagrid comes in.
yeah, Hagor, the cursed version of Hagrid.
Oh, I'm looking at it now.
It's not as bad. It's definitely when you compare it to PlayStation 1. Those faces.
That was a different time in video game animation. Like nowadays, we have a different kind of disturbing character. We've got these like uncanny valley, like Forspoken characters that look like, oh wow, they look really nice, but then when they have too much dialogue and their mouths start to move wrong, it's like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it does get weird. We can get into what is this game actually difficult?
I don't think you should be asking me that question.
Since you're the god at the game, of course. Yeah, I think it's not too difficult. It does have difficulty in it, like of course on open island. I think it's just overly long. That's how difficult it makes it. It just makes it even longer to play a single match. But I didn't lose a single match either. And if you,
No, same here.
it's like also saying I can just spam, and I can figure out how to the glitches or whatever to get it to where you can basically get a point every time if it's your serve or your aces serve. You can always get a point. I feel like it's really not too difficult of a game. I think it would be a lot easier if I did play it on the Game Boy Advance. And I was playing it on my phone with touch controls, which I think made it a lot more difficult to play, and it was cramping my hand a lot. But I don't really think I don't think there's that much difficulty.
No, I would probably agree with that. I would probably say that like, especially like I really should have should have messaged Stick before this and said like, yo, send me these videos because I was having some trouble um with like two people, which was like the finals of the Island Open, and then one other character beforehand. I don't remember which one it was. It was like some of the characters. I like the designs, but they all kind of blur together. you know, um, there's a few challenging things, right? But I feel like once you understand the power shot and like how to use a power shot, like it's not that difficult. You can just kind of like you can wait for the power shot to charge and just either if your enemy character sends a power shot, then you can use yours to almost always catch it at
Yeah,
least.
I couldn't figure out how to use a power shot against them. I could only figure out how to like catch their power shot with mine.
Mm.
I had no idea how to, no clue how to do it. I was like, well, I guess I just save my power shot for whenever they use theirs because I don't know how to use mine.
So one thing that you can do is you have to go to the like training center for
Hmm.
power shots, and you can acquire new power shots by doing these like mini games. And many of the mini games are kind of like little homages to classic Super Mario Brothers
I
games.
believe the game
So
forces you to play one,
yes. Oh, okay, yeah. So you
the
okay?
treadmill.
Yeah. The treadmill where you got to jump over the barrels and stuff.
I found that actually really fun.
There's
Yeah,
one where you have to like break blocks, like just like how Mario breaks blocks in the
I
traditional 2D
believe
platformers.
the jumping noise is the Mario jumping noise for the treadmill.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. I did see a lot of Mario stuff in here. Like I was walking around and there was Mario pipes that had
Mhm.
flowers in them. Like they were flower pots. I was like, that's actually really cool. I want that for my house. I want a flower pot that is a Mario pipe.
It is, yeah, it is kind of crazy that despite being a Mario Tennis game, like realistically, it's kind of its own isolated universe. There's, of course, there's Mario aspects to it,
Hmm.
but and it's the
I
same with the Game Boy Color games too.
I feel like they just slapped Mario on it to make it to sell copies. I think this
100%.
this could have been its own. It could have just been like Super Tennis or something. I feel like it really had no need being a Mario game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think what I've been doing on my YouTube channel is I've been comparing the console releases to the handheld release. So
Uh huh.
like I'm gonna be doing that again with this game as well as the GameCube game Power Tennis.
You did that with
And
the Game Boy Color one, I think.
yeah. And I have to say, like, it's very jarring because like again, the N64 and GameCube ones, it's Mario. Like 100%, it's the cast of characters. Not a lot of like even story really. There's just you could play in tournaments. It's really just mostly for multiplayer.
Hmm.
But the single player portable games have so little to do with the Mario universe until literally the very end where you also real quick fun fact, the main character who you play as in the first Game Boy Color game, his name's Alex, or that's his default name anyway. He's a character in the Game Boy Advance game, and it's the same um tennis academy, right? Like it's the same environment. Even the layout is actually the same of the place. So it's kind of funny that like if you had just come from playing Game Boy Color, it's almost like it's like, "Oh, it's me. I have to beat me now."
I don't think it lacks in difficulty. I think it's kind of a perfect amount. I just wish matches weren't so long, where it's like, okay, you play until you win. Was it two match? You play a two game. There's like so much scoring going on. Like you got you have to win three matches for a game to end. Is it? Yeah, you win three. You get 15, 30, 40, and then you win. But then
Mhm.
that only counts to 1 point, and you have to get three for you to count as actually winning a match. You have to do that three times.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, this seems overly long. Which first of all, scoring in tennis doesn't make any sense to me. 15, 30, 40, deuce, Medusa, which is we call it.
Yeah, I've never understood that like point accumulation thing. Like I mean, if like so it's 15, 30, and then 40, and then that's if you get past four. But then yeah, if they both have 40, then you go into deuce. Then one player has to get an advantage point, and then they have to get another point to win. And it's like, how does how does the math work from like 15, 30? Oh, okay, yeah, it doubled, right? 15, 30, and then 40. So it's like, wait. What?
So
Only 10 more?
the origin of tennis scoring is based on a clock face. Quarter of the way around the hoop would be 15, and then 30, and finally 45. This was changed to 40 to have a deuce at 50 because the hand moved at the top to show that the match was finally over. What? But if they couldn't do 45 to begin with because they really wanted 50 to be the deuce. Why don't just do a different scoring? Come on. Do 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah, they do that in tiebreaker, right? Like that.
Yeah,
goes up to
that's
7,
when it
like,
actually made sense, because in tiebreaker you had to get like 7 points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of an athlete myself. I did soccer growing up, and I grew up doing
Boo.
taekwondo.
Wait, it was like.
Oh, sorry, football. I should say.
Oh, wait, is it?
No, not like American football, like soccer.
Oh, okay, yeah, we call it soccer.
Or as I should call it, Mario Strikers.
Mario, smart. I played Mario Strikers in school. I grew up playing baseball. Baseball was my sport. So yeah, and we grew up hating soccer. Sorry.
No, that's fair. I also grew up hating soccer after losing a big final match that would have got our team into like a higher league.
I just don't find soccer that fun to watch. But I think it's it's funner to play.
It's horrifically boring. Like every time the World Cup or the Euro Cup's around, like my girlfriend's family, they're big into soccer, especially when Team Italy was winning the Euro Cup and stuff. So we watched like the final and stuff. And like I could not stop looking at my phone. Like I was just like, oh my god, like I don't care.
That's like me during the Super Bowl. I was just there for the ads.
Yeah.
Even though
it's a media blitz, it's not really like
I root for my team. I root for San Francisco to win, but yeah. Yeah. I don't enjoy football that much, but baseball is my thing.
I don't think it's all that hard, and I wish that I had Stick's strats to beat this game because I probably could have blazed through it faster.
I didn't want to share my strats with Stick. Would have made him overpowered.
No, bro, that strat where you would go up to the net, I was doing that as well.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, sometimes it didn't just give me the point though. Sometimes I had to do it multiple times.
That's just a skill issue.
Yeah, and it's a skill issue that you didn't finish the game.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, calm down. I have a life.
You have a life?
Boy, I'm gonna fly to Scotland. Okay. Okay, this is what I'm actually excited for. Game audio. Comparing it to Pokemon again. This game has similar sounds to Pokemon. I thought it sounded really close to Pokemon with the sprites and everything, and the music itself, which I thought music was fantastic in this game.
I'd agree with that for sure.
With these retro games, I do find a lot of the time I very much dislike the music and turn it off because I just don't like it. It's just the same tune over and over, never change, and it gets very irritating. But no, this one has a very good selection of music and everything. Which fun fact, this game came out like 6 months after I was born.
Oh, this game is old.
Yeah, okay, bro.
Oh, now I'm feeling like
yeah.
super old.
You made both me and Cart feel old now. What you call? I'm not old. I'm only 18. Come on. Which okay, I bring this up so many times. Stick Bob's getting tired of it. That's one of my favorite games on the NES, Predator.
It's a fire game.
Wait, you like it?
I mean, wait, am I thinking of the right game here?
On the
Terminator NES?
Predator NES.
Predator.
It's a side-scrolling shooter.
Yeah. I think I played this. I played a lot of it. NES.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of I'm like the original Predator is one of my favorite action movies too.
I watched it for the first time when playing the game.
Nice.
And I loved it. And it's my favorite game. Stick Bob hates it, and our guest for that episode also hated it. Blaze. He also hated it, but I used a veto, which we have vetoes to, which means the other people's things do not matter.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, you have a veto for being our guest. And Stickball still has his. I used mine for Predator to say that it was a good game, meaning that it goes on our charts for being a good game, which it is. No, the audio, it sounds just like Pokemon games. I will go to the death with this, which, again, it is not a bad thing that this is like a Pokemon game. I think that's fantastic. I hate Pokemon games, but I think they have great art style and music going for them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think Camelot and like in general, many Nintendo games have a lot of high quality audio, right? Like they're very well known for having great music, great sound effects, great everything, right? So yeah, I think it's actually funny enough. If you play the Game Boy Color game, it's like just a much higher quality version of that score. The same thing where like the score changes when you're on like excuse me, when you're on like a break point or you're on like a match point, the
Mhm.
score changes and it gets a little more like
It gets intense.
that's that tune. Really good. Yeah, I'm a fan of the songs for sure.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the art style and songs of this game. This game is a visual and how would you say for audio? I don't know. But
An audible treat.
yeah, there we go. It's an audible treat. It's very, very pleasing to the ears. Usually Stickball does disagree with me about music on video games. And it's usually the best thing about a video game, in my opinion, for most of these games that we play on the podcast. Sometimes it is the music that I'm like, it's the best thing I could find about the game, anyways.
Dick, what's your opinion on this game's
Yeah, I'm
audio?
really interested, Stick.
What, you think I'm gonna say no?
Yeah. Oh, my fingers crossed.
Well, I say no to no.
So, yes.
Here you go.
Bro just sent me into the
Yes.
Matrix with that answer.
I deny your denial. No, that's that. No, I'm glad. Obviously, men with high taste understand.
Yes, only the best. Like wine and cheese. Now, we can go to the I've already explained the graphics of this game is a visual masterpiece for the Game Boy Advance. I haven't come across that many Game Boy Advance games where I'm like, oh man, that's visually really like good. Only a couple have caught my eye. Super Mario 3, I think, which wasn't originally a Game Boy Advance game. It was SNES, wasn't it? Oh wait, NES. It was NES.
Well, it's kind of had a bit of a transitionary era because it was remade on SNES in Super Mario All Stars,
Yeah.
and then it was remade again in Mario Advance 4, which was the Game Boy Advance version, which is arguably the best version because it's got those e-reader levels and it's got Mario like sound effects and stuff, which the other versions don't have.
Yeah, and like Naruto Ninja Council, I think, is another one that is visually pleasing. And that's kind of a outcast game that not many people think of when they think of Super Mario World, obviously.
I would also for Game Boy Advance games, the Metroid games, Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission, those are some pretty games.
I have only the first Metroid game on the Virtual Console for 3DS, and I haven't played it.
Did you get that with the Ambassador program
No,
of 3DS?
I just bought it at GameStop because I saw it. I saw the card and I was like, oh, I never played Metroid, but then I played it and I was like, I hate this. But that was because I wasn't as big into these retro games where you couldn't save, really, where you had to beat it in one go. But I've grown more to love those, and I probably would love that because that same for Predator. That's one of my favorite games, and you can't save on that game. You have to one shot. But yeah, Donkey Kong games as well. They are visually really good on the Game Boy Advance, which I didn't know there was like a good handful of Donkey Kong games on the Game Boy. Honestly, we have touched a lot on the graphics of this game along with the art style, and it is like I don't what this wasn't a AAA game. It wouldn't have been considered one. Menace, really?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think Camelot was developing many games. All like I would say, Golden Sun 1 and 2 are their like kind of more AAA games.
I
Those are
thought you
like
were gonna say
longer.
Golden Axe.
Golden Axe for Genesis. I mean, for its day, it was a AAA game. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think Mario Tennis Power 2 or even I don't know what the golf
Mario Golf.
Mario, yeah, on Game Boy Advance. Like those games aren't. I don't think they're AAA games, but I would say that they're staple releases of the franchise, right? Like they established a pretty strong pattern of release, right, for Mario sports games.
Oh yeah. There was a pattern for release. I think they're just battling along with the other sports games already. The Madden, NBA 2K, all those. Yeah.
What is funny though is that the DS never got sequels to this. What it did get was like a Mario basketball game called Mario Hoops 3 on 3 and maybe one other Mario sports game that I can't think of right now,
Yeah,
but
the 3DS got one, but not the DS kind of got skipped over.
yeah,
I think they're
weird
kind
though.
of feeling like since on the original DS and stuff, or DS Lite, how you could play Game Boy games. I think they're more planning on people playing it on there. They really didn't
Right.
see a need for it.
Makes
Um,
sense. Makes sense.
uh, for people who had DSi though. um,
Back in my day, I had a DSi I got on launch day.
oh my god, the newest console I had for like until like 3 or 4 years ago was the Wii.
Sorry, real quick, can I just ask, Stick, what was your first video game console?
I
If
have a
you,
tie between the Wii and the Xbox 360 since I got them at the same time.
I thought it
oh,
was the
nice.
DS.
Yeah, I don't know. No, I haven't touched a DS in years.
How
I have
dare
no
you?
memories of them.
That's a sin.
It broke. My brother tried to steal it from me and the audio snapped.
Oh no,
All audio was cut from it.
Does it not have headphone jack?
I don't know.
Or might they go 3DS?
the DS, all models of the DS should have one headphone jack.
My
Still
DS
though, I mean,
my DS has a broken shoulder button, so I can't play it.
yeah, that's like the most common thing for DSs. My original 3DS, like the launch 3DS, also mine has like a broken L button.
Yeah, same. It's the left trigger.
Ah, Nintendo, gotta fix your triggers, guy. Come on.
But anyway, it's favorite part of this game of Mario Tennis.
Okay, I'll start. I'll say mine. My favorite part has to be I actually want to see those power shot mini games. Are actually really fun. Um, I wouldn't mind returning to those mini games. Like they're just fun time killers.
You can actually play the mini games by themselves,
Right? Yeah, yeah. They unlock like those metal animations are so funny when you beat a character
and
at the
you unlock
academy.
them.
Yeah, it's like now you own this person. I'm like, oh,
That the same
okay.
for is that the same for Mario and all of them?
Um,
You get to
like the normal Mario Universe characters, I think so.
you get to play as Mario and all of them?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I was about to say, it's how you call it Mario Tennis if you can't play as Mario.
you can always play as him in the exhibition mode.
Hmm,
Um,
I didn't try that
and
mode
like
out.
it's basically just like simulating like a normal tennis match.
Oh, okay.
Nothing crazy. What is cool though is they've kind of minimized for Game Boy Advance the GameCube animations for the power shot. So like Bowser's power shot, Donkey Kong's power shot, they actually look fairly close in essence to what they are on the GameCube,
Uh-huh.
which is pretty impressive. Like Donkey Kong like goes into this like barrel cannon and like blasts the ball
Ah,
really fast and stuff, and it looks pretty good for the Game Boy Advance.
I know Strict Bob was talking about Donkey Kong, something about banana ring.
So DK's defensive power shot, he like throws a banana and it swings around like a boomerang and hits the ball.
Yeah, that's cool.
He fires it. I think he fires it from his right, and it goes around, hits the ball on his left.
That is cool, though a missed opportunity because that's one of those times it could have been his coconut gun, which by the way fires in spurts. If it shoots you, it's gonna hurt.
Isn't that Diddy Kong's thing?
Actually, yeah, but I believe he fires peanuts out of his gun. Has
Oh,
two guns, right?
yeah, it's I know that because of Super Smash Bros. He fires peanuts.
Yeah. In Donkey Kong 64, he's got his coconut gun, which is just like a big
Oh.
like wooden Glock that he shoots.
He,
Yeah, yeah.
Donkey Kong's from the hood. He's
For
got
real.
it.
I mean, there's the DK rap opening up, which
Oh yeah,
is,
no, yeah.
like there's something there.
You want to
Yeah.
sing the DK rap? Yeah. I like the why did those games and stuff have like their own raps, like Pokemon rap and everything?
Let me tell you, as someone who was born in the 90s, it was a different time. People,
It was the time of rap.
yeah, like whereas rap really started in the 1970s for a lot of like black communities,
Mhm.
when white corporate America found out about rap in the 90s, they were like, "Okay, guys, we're doing this." And they should not have.
No. Yeah.
It was,
Uh,
yeah, everyone had to have a rap, like everyone, and it was always terrible. Like it is, uh, especially like looking back at it now, like it was terrible then, but like now it's like super cringe.
you
You find like,
it's time for the
pardon?
Bowser rap.
Yeah, there's the Super Mario Brothers Super Show
Oh
rap.
yeah. Koopa and his troopers are up misbehaving.
Yeah.
I watched that
Which-
show as a kid, so yeah.
Oh man, yeah,
They,
that's media. They made that. It exists now forever.
speaking of, they brought that back for the Mario movie as a trailer.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, I forgot what it was though. Oh man, what was it? It's literally the most. It's iconic. I can't forget. I can't remember. I can't forget. Yeah, I did forget.
Did either of you guys see the Mario movie yet?
No, have you?
No.
I did. I did see it.
Oh no. What did you like it?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I thought like I'm actually, my background's in film. Like I work in the video industry. I come from a video background, a film background.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm pretty critical with the movies I watch, but I have to say, like, knowing that it's a kids movie primarily,
Yeah.
and knowing, the Mario universe, it was pretty great. Like I had a really fun time. There's one sequence, they showed a lot of it in the ads,
Yeah.
where Mario and Donkey Kong basically like speed run a Mario level. It's fantastic. Like it is some of the best animation I've ever seen. So it has a lot of good things about it. The story is pretty by the numbers.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna have your mind blown, but at the same time, like for a successful adaptation of the Mario movie, of this franchise into a movie format, it's pretty good. It's much better than that god awful 1993 movie. So
Oh, I've been wanting to watch that movie. I haven't seen it yet, and I want to watch it.
you shouldn't, but I mean, if
Well,
you
it's
if you wanna see-
it's kind of like watching like Shallow and Soccer. I
no,
know.
because
I know it.
Soccer is good. Like,
Well,
that
I know
is-
it.
oh.
I know it's gonna be bad. That's why I want to watch. It's like I grew up with Spy Kids, and I love Spy Kids. People think they're bad films. I think they're good.
Right. No, I agree with that. Like Spy Kids 1 through 3. I also grew up with those movies. Those
Mhm.
those are good. But like
Yeah.
I went to the theaters when Spy Kids 3 came out. I saw that like in 3D.
You kind of left out the best one though, the fourth one. All the time in the
Oh,
world.
I have not seen it. And
You haven't seen it?
No, I haven't.
It's actually is good. It's not the best. Spy Kids 2 is my favorite. But
yeah.
but
So it's good though. Okay,
I think it's
wasn't expecting
better.
that.
It's better than the third one in my opinion. The third one's hard for me to watch, but I do love Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, yeah.
His characters and how he makes fun of his own voice, or he talks weird and everything.
Yeah.
He makes fun of
Yeah.
it. And I think it's just hilarious and great movies. They're actually making another one.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Same director. It's
Still Robert Rodriguez?
Yep. Robert Rodriguez
Nice.
for Netflix. It's actually in production. You know the guy who plays Shazam?
Oh, what's his name?
Zachary Levi.
or-
Yeah. He's gonna be the dad.
Okay.
It's a
okay.
it's completely different family, kind of like the fourth one. Even though
Right.
they're related to the original kids in the fourth one. But yeah, I was like, I really want to see Junie and his sister return.
Yeah. Antonio Banderas not being the dad is somewhat of an L, but I don't mind Zachary Levi. He's all right.
Yeah. The dad in the fourth one, I forgot his name, but he's in the show Community.
Oh yeah.
He's the main actor, I
Oh,
believe.
Joel McHale? Is that it?
Uh, yeah. Yep.
Oh wow.
He's
I
the
did not see that coming.
in Spy Kids 4. He's a spy hunter.
Oh, a spy who collects spies. I like
And
that.
his
Okay.
wife is a spy. Been living underneath his nose the entire time.
So the real question there is he a terrible spy hunter or is she just a really good spy?
It's kind of both.
Yeah.
No, but Sick Bob, do you have a favorite part of this game?
Probably the power shots.
Power shots that I never got to learn how to use.
I was stuck with with just one until I figured out that you gotta go to the training area.
Oh, is that how you unlock them? You train more?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so stupid. Oh, no wonder I couldn't do anything else. I was trying button combinations to figure it out. I was like, how do I turn the other person into a tornado? That's what I was trying to figure out. I actually didn't mention that sometimes when you hit another player, they turn into a tornado
Yeah.
with the power shot.
Yeah, it spins you around. The final guy for the Island Open, if you hit back one of his power shots, it like messes with your controls for a bit. Like I think it
Oh.
reverses the controls.
That
That
is
messed me up.
terrible. Like terrible to fight against. Not like that's a bad mechanic. My least favorite was the ice one. The ice
Oh.
when it turns into ice and it shoots it, because I could never catch that one. I always had to have my power shot save to get it. Yeah. My favorite part. Stickball had a really good one. My favorite part of this game probably, like, it's not gonna be gameplay. It's gonna be probably the graphics and art style. I really touched on those quite a bit, and I do think that is my favorite part of this entire game, is the actual art. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I obviously I did talk about it, so not really needed to say anything. But yeah, that's my favorite part. We could do
Yeah,
least
agreed.
yeah. Least favorite part?
Solo matches.
Solo. I didn't get to play solo. I should have before we
They
started this.
take forever.
Yes.
Mm.
Oh, they do. They do.
Can you not do the serving glitch on those?
No.
Wow. Bad.
'Cause
It's
they're in the
bad.
middle
Yeah, okay. I didn't get to play this, so I actually don't know what it was like to play solo. I only had Ace by my side the entire time, which, speaking of, I hardly ever leveled up Ace. I was putting most of my stuff into Clay.
Yeah, I maxed out Ace's speed stat just so she could always like catch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was not interested in like helping her out with any of her.
You're on your own now.
Yeah. Just be fast enough to whack the ball back.
I did hate sometimes Ace, like when I was up front, sometimes Ace would like bug and be at the front with me as well when I'm supposed to be the one up front. Like she would go up and hit a ball that was for her, but then she would stay up front and be in the same area as me, and I was like, "What are you doing?" You have a least favorite part?
I mean, I would probably say just some of the that one ice power shot. And again, I don't know if it happens the same way every time you do the Island Open, but for me, this guy Willie was the final guy who actually I just finally beat this morning. And then I went to go face the final boss, but like his power shot and everything about that, like his the amount of curve that is on his B hit, where like the ball kind of has a blue trail. Oh my gosh, it was so like I swear I was hitting the ball back, like my racket was in range,
Nope.
and the game was like, nope, not happening. Like I was like, damn. Like
Yeah.
I'm probably I might upload just a separate video of just all of those moments that I was so close to hitting the ball and like it looks like I hit it, but it just didn't. It was just like, pretty
Yeah.
gruesome. But yeah, I think actually to be more concise with that answer, probably like you guys had already mentioned, just the length of time that many of these matches take. I think if they shortened them just a little bit, I think it would be a whole lot more enjoyable.
I kind of the same. The length of the match is my least favorite, but also I really hate playing the tennis in this game in general. I didn't enjoy it that much. It's mostly just a bunch of spamming back and forth and like run over hit, or you're serving, you just hit and you get a point. I really felt like too long, and I've found the overall playing the tennis matches were boring. That was my least favorite. Now we can kind of get into this is the part where we vote on if the game is good or not, and it needs two or more votes to get a good, or you can use a veto. Stickball has his veto, and you have your veto. If you cannot veto against each other, meaning if one person says yes, whoever's the quickest, that's basically what it means. It's a yes.
Okay.
We have used it with each other though. We can use it together. We actually had a Super Gamer Milk, which was Mario Galaxy. Me and Stickball both voted that it was the best game that we played on the podcast at that time. And it deserved a double Gamer Milk. We're still waiting for the day where we can have all three and do a Mega Milk. That's what we're calling it. If all three vetoes are used, it's a Mega Milk.
The Mega Milk. Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
If you do use your veto, this one, which I'm doubting it. But if you were to, then if you were ever to come on a podcast again, you wouldn't have a veto. It would be every other. But yeah, that's if you do ever want to come on again, for another game.
I can say for now, if you guys will have me, I'll definitely come back again. This has been a fun time.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what game we'll be able to play together next. But I'll throw out my vote. It's a no. I give this game a no.
Is that just because you didn't beat it?
No, it's not because I beat it. Which, congratulations, Stickball. This is the first game on the podcast that you have beaten. I'm not alone now.
Actually.
Yeah, it is. The first game that you've beaten on the podcast.
There's no way.
The closest that you got was Charlotte's Web.
I need to watch that episode. I did not know that you guys played Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, on the Game Boy Advance. It's actually our most played console.
Nice. Well, good.
Oh my god, it is.
17. 18th episode, but we have our Gamer Milk recap. So, yeah. Congratulations. But yeah, this game's a no. I just found it very boring, and I really didn't want to play the game, but I forced myself to play the game. Grab a cup of coffee in the morning and started playing this game. But yeah, I tried my hardest to beat it, but I couldn't beat it because how boring and overly long the matches are. I didn't have the time frame, so yeah, it's a no.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna give it a yes.
Of course.
Bro, literally yesterday, this was the only game I played. I am not joking.
Wow, this is the first time that you've said yes and I've said no. Oh wait, never mind, Pokemon. Never mind, we said Pokemon. Never mind. I was about to say that we're having a lot of firsts here, but yeah, no. Okay, I kind of knew you were gonna say yes, especially because I noticed how much more you're playing this game. I was like, oh my goodness, he's about to beat it.
Well, yeah, I played the whole game yesterday.
Yeah. So it's
Very
a
nice.
yes. So you are the decider if this game is good or not.
Democracy is so challenging. How do I vote?
I just want you to know your most favorite guest that we've had on this podcast.
Thank you. I'm really caught in the middle on this one. I guess because I can kind of see both sides. This game is kind of like I would give it like a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. Like it's fine, it's good, but it's also nothing like super exceptional. It's not like a mind-blowing story where like my mind is changed on a hugely philosophical concept or so. Like it's nothing super amazing. But I'm gonna give it a yes because.
End of the podcast, everyone. Okay. Yeah. Yes. What's your reason?
I'd say it's a good game. Like it's a good time, especially after like I trudged through the Game Boy Color one, which doesn't have any power shots. Like it's literally just a super basic tennis simulator. Like I think them adding a little more mechanical creativity plus like really nice visuals, really nice overall just pacing. One thing I have to say is I like how characters are mean to you in this. Like,
Oh yeah.
characters explicitly are like, guess what? You're gonna lose, man. Like I'm gonna beat you here, and then beating them, you get to be like, yes.
And then
Like there's a character named Elroy who you beat, and in the Island Open, when you beat him, the next time you go to the cottage where your academy is located, he's just staring at the wall, like motionless. Like you talk to him and
That's
he's just dot dot dot
creepy.
dot dot. He's just so destroyed that you beat him, and then once you leave the room, he says he's like, by the way, good luck on the next match or whatever. Like, and I'm just like, yeah, man, that's what you get.
I did
Like,
notice that Ace also sometimes punches you. Like on the
yeah,
arm.
yeah.
Yeah, she'll just punch you. Like she'll have an angry face, she'll just punch you.
No, it's kind of like I can imagine if I was like 12 years old playing this game when it came out,
Mhm.
like, you know,
Find it funny.
yeah, I could find it funny. You've got this like girl companion who's like punching you on the shoulder. It's
Yeah.
like, you might develop a little crush on Ace, Like,
Well, I
yeah,
don't know. I
you,
didn't.
you
I
want
didn't.
like you want Clay to get with Ace, They're just like they're a nice pairing. I mean,
She ain't no Kim Possible, you know.
well, that's true. I mean, but who is? Like,
Yeah. Well, most people like Shigo, but from
they can both rock my world anytime. Those drawings are very nice.
very nice.
Great collections of lines those characters are. I'm a big fan of lines.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But,
my vote is yes.
So this game is a yes. Majority rules. Yeah. So interesting enough, we actually so on our every 15 episodes we do a retro recap. Where we go back and we're gonna like we've done one so far, and Stick Bob gets to have his veto, and he gets to go back, and if he feels like he wants to veto a game, it couldn't have been vetoed already though, but if he goes back and say like I don't know, Toy Story, he's like, oh, I want to veto that to be a good game or a bad game, it will never be changed again, then he can do that if he wants. Meaning whenever we go back and actually review these next games, which would be so far Ed and Eddie, Dragon Warrior 2, and this game, I might use my veto to say no.
No.
You'll stop it? You wait.
I will make sure you use yours before the 30th episode.
You have two vetoes, Stick Bob. Oh, you have one veto right now. 2 more episodes till it resets, and I get mine. So you might want to use it now if you feel like it.
No.
Okay, well I'm gonna beat you to the cut then.
No, I'm just gonna threaten you using a veto on a game that you love.
Yeah, I have to
make you use your veto.
I have to make it through 10 more episodes in order for it to. Yeah, you might be successful. But yeah, this I guess sadly it is a good game. It is Gamer Milk approved. I've never been more disappointed to say it. Would you replay this game? Do you see yourself replaying it?
Maybe.
So we're saying Stick Bob is a bad game.
No.
Oh.
I'm also gonna agree with Stick Bob there. I think maybe. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna replay it anytime soon, but I did enjoy my time with it this one time. I don't know if I'm like gonna rush to go back though.
More like you'd see yourself playing maybe a different game in the series.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. I think next, what sucks for me is now that I'm now moving forward in my Mario Tennis series of videos. Eventually, I'm gonna have to get to Mario Tennis Ultra Smash on Wii U, which
is that not good?
Oh god, no, it's terrible. It's like one of the worst games Nintendo's ever put out. It's like it's garbage. It's like vapid. There's nothing going on in it. But so, I was glad I got to play through this. Excuse me. I was glad I got to play through this.
Yeah. I'm happy that this was our first ever sports game, and it wasn't some like absolute trash game. I hate this game. I kind of tried hiding it throughout the episode to not trash it that much, because I was saying how much I like the music and that, and I do give it that.
You always like the music though.
Yeah, no, I do. Usually when I hate a game, I love the music, as I think they focus more on that. But yeah, I'm not gonna ever replay this game. Maybe a different tennis game. Like I know Mario Tennis on Switch. I played that actually. I have played Mario Tennis on Switch, and I did enjoy that.
Mario Tennis Aces is a pretty good game.
Yeah. Is there an audience for this game? Do you see like a certain audience? What audience? Curious, Sick Bob.
Mario
fans?
Yeah. tennis players?
Tennis players.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like think so. Like that's a fair
I don't,
that's a fair
maybe
assessment
maybe
because
sports game enjoy. Who I don't.
right.
You have to be
So no,
insane. You have to be insane for your favorite genre of game to be sports games, but yeah. I actually know a
You know,
few.
I went to high school with this one girl who was she was like kind of our main tennis player for the high school. She would
Uh-huh.
constantly acquire like really like she would always be getting first place in all of her tournaments.
Oh yeah.
And I I would often play 3DS with her, and she was always playing the Mario Tennis game on 3DS. And she would be like criticizing the game, like, "Oh yeah, there's this one like little kind of the nuances here aren't quite what they could be, but you know so like the audience is out there, but I definitely agree. I think like primarily like the big draw is Mario, and then after that, tennis people might be in. Who knows? It's
Uh-huh.
hard to know.
Like
Well, yeah, I mean, there's an audience, right? Like sports people play those sports games. Like
yeah.
FIFA is one of the highest selling game franchises of all time. Same with
I don't
NBA
know
2K.
how.
It's just the same game with new characters.
Yeah, but they get worse. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like I'm a big martial arts guy. Like
Uh-huh.
I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I it's funny how like I'm always hypercritical of the UFC video games that they produce because the jiu-jitsu portions of those video games are terrible. Like they're these like super super lame simulations where you just have to like chase someone, like you have like a bar of energy and you have to like capture the other person's
Yeah.
bar of it. It's like nothing like
I hate
actually doing
I hate when my
jujitsu.
energy bar runs out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean it's never going to be one to one with sports, but I think if you're interested in the sport already, it helps you kind of bridge into the game, right?
Yeah. I'm curious what people say is arguably the best sports game ever made.
Madden '08, Scott the Woz. We know you love it. We love it.
Well, how about what's that water sport for racing games could be in there, you know? A lot of racing games. Those are
True.
sports.
That's a sport. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know the best game.
Wii Sports.
What is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, never
Yes.
Yeah, Wii Sports Resort is my favorite out of the two. Wii Sports. They made one for the Nintendo Switch Sports, which I haven't played, but yeah. I
Wii
think
Sports Resort has it's one of the only sports games I know where you have like a pet dog that you can throw a frisbee to. So that
yeah.
means it's the best one. Sorry, I don't make the rules.
I
It's
used to
just the way
be
it is.
so good at the frisbee disc golf or whatever they called it. Or but it was the one with the dogs. I used to be so good at that one. Yeah. There's an audience, sure. You've changed my mind. There is an audience for this game. Yeah. My final thoughts though, I'm not gonna replay this game. I didn't enjoy it, and I will give this my veto whenever it happens. I promise.
If it happens.
It will. I'm going to try my hardest to save my veto.
Overstep
I'm sure you'll be
democracy.
able to choose your favorite games.
Well, I'm so curious of when you're gonna use yours because you only have 2 episodes and they do not stack.
I know. I haven't found the right chance.
This is your chance.
Oh.
We do have if you do want to if you are curious, Cart, of what our next game is going to be, we're actually going to spin it right now.
Yeah, go for it. I'm curious.
Yeah. And people, we tell everyone at the end of the podcast what game we're going to be playing, and they can play along with us and give us thoughts. A lot of people giving their thoughts. But yeah.
Nice.
Some people, I know people were mad when I didn't like Dragon Warrior or anything. But you know, that's just how the crumble cookies. I'm actually trying to search for our wheel of stuff. I cannot find it. Where in the world?
While you're doing that, let me just quickly say, okay, well, first thing, again, thank you guys for having me on the podcast. Had a really fun time. You
Oh,
guys
yeah,
are cool.
for
Definitely, I'll
sure.
be back. Enjoy coming back if
Mhm.
you will have me.
No, we don't want you.
Fair enough. I can't blame that.
No,
But second, Dragon Warrior 2 does kind of fuck? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know. Like, isn't Dragon Quest 2 like the least fit? Or maybe I'm thinking of Final Fantasy 2. Final Fantasy 2 is the one that everyone dislikes. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but I know that one of my buddies, who's a big gamer, like he games even more than I do. He
Mhm.
has told me that like Dragon Quest 2 and 1 he does not like at all, and he thinks they're
Ooh.
better. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the Gamer Milk podcast audience is like, dude, screw off. Dragon Warrior 2,
Uh-huh.
that's my game. Like, how dare you tarnish its holy name? But like, I personally, I'm in the same boat as you, Stray. I'm not a big fan, but I don't know,
Uh-huh.
just me.
Yeah.
Just
So we have this wheel that has a ton of consoles. Has like Game Boy, SNES, 64, GameCube, PlayStation, and it also has 3 special ones. Now there's games the same, which are games me and Stickball both own, but they're not necessarily retro most of the time. But we both own them. Then there's what is it? There's 10 games that me and Stickball have both picked out, each. And also, we let our guest add 1 game to the list that is retro.
okay.
And our last guest I actually forgot to tell him on the episode, but I told him after. I was like, "Oh, I completely forgot." But you're allowed to add this game. And he said Star Tropics,
Ooh, okay.
which he said is a really good game, and it's kind of like Zelda.
Yeah,
And,
it is. It is like Zelda.
and I'd never heard of it, but you say it's like Zelda, and I'm in. So is there a game you'd like to add?
There is actually.
Ooh.
Can you guys accept Nintendo DS games?
Yes. We played Pokemon DS.
Oh, right. Of course you did. You played Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys ever played Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story?
What?
Mario and Luigi. Technically, in Japan, it's called Mario and Luigi RPG 3 Bowser's Inside Story. If you guys can play that one, you guys will have a good time. It is a little long of a game, though.
Oh,
so I can
okay,
recommend one that's
okay. No, it doesn't matter if it's long, but it's a Mario game.
Yeah, I just thought keeping in line with that. But again, I can recommend something else if you want. But that is one of my favorite DS games, and I think you guys will have fun if you haven't played it yet.
Okay, no, I got it added. That is perfectly fine. I've seen this game. I didn't know it's called Bowser's Inside Story. I just know it was most people call it Mario and Luigi RPG and stuff.
Right. It is a vor themed game, so I don't know if you guys are fans of that.
Oh,
But
what do you mean by that? Oh, lore themed. Oh,
no, vor.
Vor?
Yeah, maybe. It's a weird genre of media you could call it. It's where people eat each other and enjoy the size of their bellies when they eat. And this is just gonna sound so. There's no
This
way
is
to
gonna
not
be
make
a
this sound
hilarious
weird.
episode.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yes.
you know, if
So
it is a good time and we spin a wheel and we get that one, love to have you back to talk about it.
sure, please do. I'm always willing to replay that.
Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah.
putting your name on it so that we do know, and because that's kind of the thing. If we ever do spin on it, I will ask the people who suggested it if they do want to come on the podcast. So yeah.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. If that happens. And if not, that's all good too.
We have one more thing that we usually spin for, and is new. We haven't gotten it yet, but it is mobile games. Most mobile games are
Okay.
trash, but there's also some good ones in there. Some
Mhm.
hidden gems. Temple Run. We have those as well. Yeah, that's just our non-retro side to have a little bit of fun. But those are our three added. But yeah. So we're gonna spin to see what console we get or what game's the same and all that if we get one of those special ones. I'm gonna spin that right now.
Spin that wheel.
Yeah, I want to get an actual wheel that we can spin. Oh my goodness. For the 1 millionth time,
Okay, I was the Game Boy again.
Game Boy Advance.
Don't we just re-roll it or something? We've gotten it so many times.
All right. Another cartridge. Cart. Should we re-roll, or do you think we should play Game Boy Advance? It's up to you. The choice is yours.
Oh boy.
We have
Just so you
played
know, we're playing a
one,
game.
two.
Yeah.
We played so many. Half of our episodes. So what do you think?
I really empathize with like that sigh of disappointment I heard Stick Bob say, so I'm gonna say reroll as well. I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Watch it land
I'm
on
just
Game Boy
keep it.
Advance again.
We can't keep it.
Oh my goodness. It's my favorite console, but I do want to play a different console.
Fair.
I'm not making this up. Game Boy
Oh, no.
Color.
No.
We are playing a Game Boy Color game.
We just next episode we need to remove all Game Boys from the wheel.
We've done it before. We haven't removed Game Boy Advance. But I believe. No, wait, never mind. No, I was gonna say that, but yeah, no, we have removed it before. But yeah, Game Boy Color. This is interesting. I don't have haven't played many Game Boy Color games. Watch we get Game Boy Color tennis, Mario Tennis. Okay.
Tennis never.
What in the world?
Oh, what is it?
I gotta make sure this is retro, and then I'll tell you guys. Oh, it was released in 2000.
Oh,
I
we gotta
mean,
play it.
it is retro if it's 15 years or older. Right. Okay, we are me and Stick Bob next episode are playing Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It's a show. I've never seen the show.
That's actually one of my girlfriend's favorite television shows. I also like it. She showed me it. It's a pretty good show.
Oh no.
But I literally got one of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer games on the PlayStation 2.
Have you seen the show?
No.
I've never seen it. I don't really know what it's about except maybe she slays vampires.
And they're called Buffy.
Well, she's probably called Buffy. I don't know. What is Buffy the Vampire Slayer about?
It is about a girl named Buffy, and she is indeed a vampire slayer.
No.
Hey, we got it right.
How does
What
it
are the
happen?
chances we got that right?
That's an 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb. That is insane. Yeah, okay. I am so excited for this next episode. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We get so many movies. I hate the movie episodes.
I think the wheel is rigged.
The movie and show episodes, one of our least favorite games that we've ever played is The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. It was absolutely
The Tipton Capers.
Yeah, it was absolutely terrible, and don't recommend anybody playing it. I love the show, but I hate the game. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We'd love to have you back, most definitely. And also linking your YouTube and everything in the description. So
Thank you.
yeah.
No, that's awesome. And yeah, likewise, I will be doing some promo stuff for this podcast. I'm very honored that you guys thought of me to be a guest on it. And yeah, again, if whenever you guys are feeling it, let me know, and I'll see what we can do.
Yeah, we've had 3 guests. We've had 2 guests in a row for 2 weeks in a row. So we're gonna be taking a little bit of a break from the guest stuff for maybe like 3 episodes or so. But yeah.
Unless we got a Lego game, then we invite Lego.
Oh yeah, we have a friend who their username's Lego Nugget. So if we get a Lego game, we promise that they get to come on.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
yeah. Thank you very much for joining. Really appreciate it.
Totally, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah. If anybody wants to check us out on Spotify, YouTube, basically anywhere you listen to a podcast, we can be found. There's podcast areas that I'm on that I didn't even know I signed up for. It's just automatically signing me up for, like Pandora. Had no idea I was on there. But I searched up our podcast and it says, "Oh, you're on Pandora." I was like, what? Because on our analytics it says that we have 4% of our listeners are from Pandora. And
Hello, Pandora listeners.
I was like, where did you come from? Yeah, but if I can check it right now. Yeah, 4.9%. 88% is from Spotify though. So yeah.
All right, Spotify listeners, you've got to band together to stop this growing faction of Pandora listeners. Like, come on, guys, represent.
We must destroy. Yeah. But yeah, you guys can check us out anywhere where you can listen to a podcast. We're probably on there. We're probably on the black market. You can buy our podcast there for like for like a kidney. For a kidney, you can listen to an episode. Yeah. But
There's that one person that shows up with like 20 kidneys.
oh no, never said it had to be mine.
Got a cooler full of kidneys.
Well, it's like the thing. Deadpool can basically be a millionaire if he wants, because he can take out his kidney and regrow it.
Good point.
Yeah, it's like, why doesn't he? He could save so many lives. Also,
I
he's
think he's more concerned about killing people, though.
yeah, he's more he's Deadpool. So, yeah.
Deadpool's retirement job, he becomes a doctor.
He becomes a full-time patient.
So
But,
every day gets a new liver taken out.
yeah, he gets a piece of his liver. You can't have your full liver taken out. You can only have pieces of it, I think.
Says who?
Oh yeah, I guess.
You
So
can have
too.
it taken out, but not advised.
Yeah, I'm getting mine taken out next week. Got an appointment.
Nice.
Thank you everybody for listening. Really appreciate it. Definitely check out our guest. Link in description to his YouTube and all that stuff. We'll see you next week for Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Game Boy Color. But until then, I'm Mr. Stray.
I'm Stick Bob.
Oh, and I'm another blown cartridge.